Writers. I think that we are ready to move on from arguments that, though they're very important, are sort of safe. You don't need to get emotionally caught up in them. We're going to move from a safe argument about role play games and video games to an argument that is deeper. We'll explore a topic that is harder to explore because its real life consequences are huge. Even though these kinds of arguments are difficult and it would be easier to just not think about them, if we want to live in a just world, we have to think about hard things. We must be willing to have the difficult arguments. Today, I want to teach you that argument is not just an academic exercise, it's a moral imperative. As human beings, you have a responsibility to understand complex issues and to argue in ways that promote justice. One way to start doing this is to read, write, and talk to understand issues that are current, complicated, and difficult. So, today you are going to start studying a real argument that relates to kids and violence. The argument concerns child soldiers, kids, usually around your age, who are recruited to fight in armies. This argument involves real children getting hurt and killed, and killing others too. This situation is familiar to some of you and almost incomprehensible to others, but we all need to think about it. This argument concerns us, each of us, because we live in this world and we need to shape the world. Otherwise, it gets shaped for us. The United Nations, Amnesty International, and the US military are actually debating the issue of child soldiers right now. This is the argument they are considering. Should child soldiers be given amnesty? The heart of this argument is a question that requires you to think. Should child soldiers be considered victims or perpetrators? In a week or so, you'll be presenting your ideas about that topic to Amnesty International or another organization in the hopes of influencing them. I want you to go back to the lesson platform and watch a video clip of a former child soldier named Ishmael Bea. Some of you may have read his book, Long Way Gone. You might want to take notes for each side of the argument or capture your thinking in another way. Or you may just need to watch the clip and take it in. I want to warn you again, it's not easy to hear the things he will talk about, but it's important that we do. Go ahead and watch the first 3 minutes of the video and then pause and come back to this teaching video. Take a minute to jot your thinking after watching the beginning of the video. If you're anything like me, you probably found the video to be horrible. His whole family was killed, his mother, his father, two brothers. Why were they all killed? He was only 12 years old, and all those kids had to go to fight. They were basically forced to, and they made them take drugs. It's not right. Some of you are probably 12 years old or just recently turned 12 years old. And you probably have questions. Ishmael didn't really talk that much about killing people, but he probably did. Are you wondering who they were? Like, were they other soldiers or innocent people? I think when you study more about this, you'll probably find the answers to some of the questions, and you'll probably also have other questions. You'll take time today to wrap your minds around this issue, and I have some text back in the platform for you to read. As you think about child soldiers, and specifically about whether they are victims or perpetrators, your thinking will probably shift and change. We'll be coming back to the question that I raised at the start of the lesson about how organizations such as the United Nations, Amnesty International, and the U.S. military should deal with child soldiers. But for now, you'll need time to learn about this issue. Become informed about the experiences of child soldiers and the perspectives different people have on them. Use your notebook as a place to think. I expect that you will want to make notes on both sides of the issue, as many of you have been doing, and you may want to free write a bit. All right, go ahead and get started. Off you go.